This is the brief description of the PGT SAM-based area monitor used for radioisotope identification. This is the basic unit that you would receive in the shipment. It consists of one analyzer, one software setup disk, an AC mains cable, and an Ethernet crossover cable if you're going to hook it to a dedicated computer. If you would need to hook it to a networked computer situation, you would need a standard network cable, RJ45 cable, connected to a switch. Okay, talking about the area monitor itself, it comes in a NEMA, a waterproof case, and it has three connectors on the back of the unit. The first connector is the AC mains cable, which is right here, and it plugs in as so. It's a NEMA connector, waterproof also. The middle connector is an Ethernet networking connection, waterproof. The third connection is an I/O waterproof connector, which is used to set off some external alarm if you would need to do that. Okay, we will now discuss the internals of the unit. We'll remove the case. There are 6 hold downs, which keeps the unit waterproof. And a brief description inside the main detection element of the system is a 3x3 sodium iodide scintillator. Next to the scintillator is a K40 reference sample that the unit uses to do auto stabilization. On top we have a main power supply which converts the input AC to DC, a 2500 unit power supply board, and the main digital MCA on top. And that's a brief description of the unit itself. The setup instructions for the PGT area monitor is as such. You'll first plug in the AC mains cable, then the supplied Ethernet cable. Connect the other end of the Ethernet cable to your networking card on your computer. Okay. One other piece of equipment that you will need to modify the internal flash card of the unit is you will need a flash card reader, which is needed to edit the IP address of the unit itself to match the computer that you're going to hook it up to. Okay, the next step in the setup process is to install the supplied area monitor software disk. You do this by opening your CD-ROM drive, closing the drive, and the software itself has an auto run feature which should start up automatically, and it also has a self-installer. Okay, if you follow along with the screens you can select the defaults and that is fine. And the system may be required to be rebooted, which it will do automatically. After the computer is successfully rebooted, you may wish to create a shortcut to start the 2500 area monitor program, as we will do now. Your right mouse click, go down to the new shortcut, hit the browse button, My Computer, C drive, Program Files. There should be a directory MON2500, and you select the executable program, which is MON Setup EXE. Click OK, next, finish. And now we have our program loaded on the computer. The next step is to find the networking parameters of the computer in which you wish to operate the unit. You do this by going to a DOS prompt and typing in IP config /all. This will give you the IP address of the computer, the net mask, the gateway, and any other parameters that are needed. You'll need to write these down because you will be entering these numbers into the flash card of the area monitor. The IP address 172.16.10.10. The mask 255.255.00. The gateway, in this case it's 172.16.1.254. And if the DNS server or other parameters are needed, you can enter them at this time. With those numbers written down, you close this window, and then we'll proceed to taking the lid off the area monitor and removing the flash card. There are 6 plastic screws on the lid that you will need to remove or loosen to remove the lid. The first thing you'll need to do if the instrument is plugged in is to turn off the main power switch for the unit. This will shut the inside electronics off. You can then remove the flash card. The flash card is then brought over to the computer where we have a flash card reader already installed. You install the flash card in the reader. Flash card in the reader. You want to open the flash card. We recommend that you use Metapad text editor. If you use WordPad, it may not open the file correctly and it does not have the wraparound function. So we recommend that you use Metapad, which is available in freeware off the internet. Okay, we open the flash card. Go to All Files, My Computer, open the E drive, and we open the folder config. We go down and open the file unit INI. And this is where we will enter the information for the area monitor to hook up to your computer. The first line that you will need to enter is an IP address for the unit. This IP address has to be particular to the system that you want to hook it to. So we know that the IP address of the computer was 172.16.10.10. I will use 172.16.10.08. The net mask should be the same as in the computer. In this case, 255.255.0.0. The gateway should be set the same as the computer also. The broadcast needs to be set if you're going to hook the area monitor into a networked system. In this case, we are using a dedicated computer, so the broadcast numbers will not be needed. The TFTP address is the address of the computer that you're using on the area monitor itself. In this case, it is 172.16.10.10. Now, with these settings inserted onto the flash card, we need to save these settings. You do File, Save. And that is all that is needed. You can now close this window. Okay, we remove the flash card. We reinsert the flash card onto the SAM main board. Insert it, and we can turn the power on. At this time, we will step back to the computer. With Windows Explorer open, we will go into the area monitor software itself. It is under the C drive, Program Files, MON2500, And there is a file now that we must edit in this folder. It is called unitconfig.txt. This is the file which tells the software the parameters of the area monitor itself. Down here are different addresses for different area monitors that can be used. All of these addresses are particular to each area monitor. In this case, there are some test addresses that we use here for testing. I will actually edit the first line to match the address of the area monitor in question. It is now 172.16.10.17. I will edit the last two numbers to be 172.16.10.08. And then we can save that. And it'll actually save those parameters in the software. These are all the settings that are required to hook up a computer to the PGT area monitor. These other addresses will not be sought after, as we have put the pound sign in front of the address to rem it out. So you will not see those. We now close this. We are now ready to start up the area monitor by going over to our MON2500 setup icon and double clicking. The box will come up which says our building. The unit in question is actually, it says MON25001. That was the parameter picked up from the unitconfig.txt. You can have up to 30 different area monitors hooked up to one version of software. When you first turn the unit on, the box may not come up green, it may come up yellow, which means that the unit is warming up and trying to stabilize. This takes normally 5 minutes for it to turn green. Once the block is turned green, the area monitor is operating and monitoring the area. One thing that you must make sure is in the area monitor folder there is a file called TFTP that must be running at all times. What you can do is going into the MON2500 directory and make sure the program or file is tftp32.exe. You want to make sure that is started. And you do that by opening it and then minimizing it. Also, you want to open the reports directory because all alarms will be transferred from the area monitor via the network cable to this directory. One recommendation that we make in the reports directory, the area monitor will download an N42 extension file every minute. This is due to housekeeping within the unit and the system itself. We recommend that after 1 week that you archive these N42 files in another directory to make the reports directory easier to use if an alarm occurs. At this time, we're going to demonstrate the operation of the area monitor. You can minimize the reports directory, and we have some fluorinated mantles from a Coleman lantern here that we will test to demonstrate the operation of the unit. We put these in front of the and the alarm should go red, which means that an alarm condition has occurred. It is detecting radiation. At this time, we will open up the calibration software, which gives you parameters, and also there is a clear alarm. The only way to clear the alarm once it has been activated is to hit the clear alarms, and it should go back green. We now open up the reports directory, and as you can see, it has reported an error, which is a clearing of the alarm. The MCA file, the MCA extension file, is the alarm text. And as you can see, the area monitor has detected thorium. It gives you a % confidence of reading, it gives you a dose rate, a nuclide identification, and also the counts per second and the energy of the peaks that is detected. This is a brief description of the PGT area monitor. Have a good day.